Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Krishna Priya. This is the Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It is Saturday, the 1st of April. We're not fooling. I'm here all week, people. Anyway, welcome to the Hucolo webinar. We have today with us our very wonderful friend and beautiful channeler, Will. We have Reiki with Will. So welcome to you.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Great. It's great to have you. And in the room, we have Will, Susan, Angie, Bola, Kat, Lilypad, Reiki. That's Reiki with Will. You switched. You were at the top of the list and you went down. And the Maveth and some more people coming in. And of course, myself, Krishna Priya. We'll start with some announcements. Angie, are you ready? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, cool.
We are going to do the chakra class. We're going to schedule it for the middle of June. Learning about the chakras and everything there is about that really goes with many different modalities, helping you with all different things, healing and channeling and white magic. So if you have not yet taken or learned the max about the chakras, this is the class for you. We're going to do it mid-June. The price is going to be $150. We'll get the date out. I'll send an announcement out via email, as well as posting it everywhere as well of what the date is going to be. If you're interested, email classes@hucolo.org. Muted.
Susan's going to do a blessing. Thank you for that, Angie. Susan will do a blessing and we will get started. So go ahead, Susan.
All right. Tu si kaya tua ya sia kua, sia titia utua, yetikitia kutua, sia titia, sia kua, yetitua, yitil kua. He sia kuto ya hia sia katatia, sakuta hia, yitikua. He sia utia, sia yokua, zitua, yitihia, yetotoa, yitukua. He sia tia, husi kaya toya. Blessing.
I would like to do one too, please.
Okay, would you like a translation on that?
Yes, that'd be great.
Excellent. The energies have elevated. It is time for you to stand up. It is time for you to shine and be the light for all of humanity. Your energy is expanding. The consciousness of humanity is expanding. When you stand up, others will stand up. When you shine your light, others will shine their light.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Okay, go ahead, Angie.
Oku orutuku a tani tuchka awa. Fiki na ho tuata satiki. Tuhu hata suktuk ahoa. Di namnako. Namaste.
The subtleties of your energy, the subtleties of the newer energies. They are here. Feel them, allow them, bring them forth. Feel the richness in them. Feel how it elevates the focus. See how it changes the vibration. Are we waiting for Karen to or Krishna Priya to unmute?
No, my mouse was somewhere different. I was trying to move it back. I couldn't bring it back. But anyways, that was beautiful. Okay, so let me just spotlight you. Sorry for that. I didn't want you to think I wasn't unmuting. I was trying. I couldn't get the mouse to the little button. All right, so thank you. So Will, you're going to be channeling primarily Merlin today?
Yes.
From what I understand. That's perfect. And how did you come how did you come into channeling Merlin? Is that someone you channel a lot, or?
I've been channeling Merlin for several years now, since the beginning of white magic. And Jim mentioned during lunch many years ago that he says, I see Merlin around you. And I'm like, okay. So it just took a little time to focus to bring Merlin through.
What is this is just a question, but based on the Merlin that we know from, say, King Arthur and, those kind of stories, what is the difference between Merlin from those stories and actually Merlin that you're channeling? Or is it the same energy?
Well, it's the same energy, but that was focused in a certain period of time.
Right.
And he goes by Merlin Spectros.
Okay.
As his real name. So we'll let him do all the talking.
Okay, perfect.
That?
I just wanted to get your opinion. So,
yeah,
all right, perfect. So whenever you're ready, we will. Yeah, go ahead. All right.
Okay, so my process is to speak a little light language till my vibration raises to a certain level, and then I'll get quiet, and then he'll start talking.
Okay. Well, we will.
Water is life.
Wait. Water is life. So enjoy your water, and we will see you when you get back. Thank you.
Nihata arat kiara asikana hatita. Atakuno uru tukash aihisa. Ayakana arihiti aritunuru urkana hash ayaha. Atana arkira. Ayakanarada. Ishkanarada. Iriarada. Isa. Greetings. I am Merlin Spectros. Today I am coming to talk to you about the new energies and the new abundance of white magic that is available on this earth plane. I'm going to try to stay as positive as possible. And when I ask questions to you, these are for you to answer yourself, because this is all about your relationship with the white magic and your relationship with your world around you. So if I say something that's triggering, that's something for you to look inside, for you to see what is the positive and the benefit, why am I feeling this way, and how can I come to be more intentful with how I'm feeling and what I wish to bring forth. The biggest question I would like you to ask yourself, why are you interested in white magic? The why. What's the real why? No matter who you are on this earth plane, there is room in each of your chakras for expansion to be able to gather more. There is no one on this earth plane who does not have fear in their root chakra. There are negative energies in each of the chakras. And by making room in the chakras, more white magic can be gathered, no matter what your percentages are. And I'm not going to answer questions about what percentage you are. I would like you to learn how to feel your chakras, like you to learn how to assess, where am I? Just because you have moved up in the chakras does not mean that you are completely 100% full in the lower chakras. Like attracts like. The more positivity that you have in each of your chakras, the more white magic you can gather. The more negativity in each of your chakras, the less white magic you can gather. As a plug for Hucolo's chakra class, the more you understand about the chakras and the more you understand about yourself, the more you will be able to gather and utilize white magic. So again, back to the why. Do you want to do it because I want to do some cool things? So that's good at the beginning. But many who are gathering in the heart, you may notice that in the upper chakras that you have started to gather small amounts, because where there is positivity, you will gather white magic. It is not like a vase where you're filling the water up and it can only go that way. All aspects of positivity. If you're thinking positive thoughts, you are gathering white magic. You are not going to fill up your third eye and your crown that way until there's no room in the lower chakras. Many have started gathering in the heart space. Many have made the jump past the veil, and it is difficult to jump into the heart space. So if you have, and if you want to thoroughly enrich in the heart space, and I want to emphasize the heart space. The heart is the key to the higher thought forms. It is the key to seeing the white magic gather. It is the key to doing some of the more advanced white magic topics. Getting past the heart space, filling up enough in the heart space. But it is so difficult for humans because this is the perfect balance. And the heart space is a difficult thing to move past as a human. So be okay where you are. Assess yourself. And if you're frustrated because you're not performing where you think you should be with white magic, let that thought go. Feel the white magic. Allow it to fill you up. Allow it to nourish you. Allow it to bring forth joy. Practice, practice, practice. These are the simplest topics that I can talk about with regard to white magic. Now let's talk about the ego for a moment. The simplest way to talk about the ego is me, me, me. I want to do this, which is why I want to talk about the why. Why do you want to learn white magic? Why do you want to gather white magic? If you're doing it for selfish reasons, then it will limit your use of it. It's okay to have personal goals, but this, I need to do it because I need to promote myself. When I was on this earth plane, I was serving. I was serving King Arthur. I was serving many kings before that and many kings after that. And when it came to guiding those rulers, there were queens as well, and there were many, many students. To be able to act without judgment, to be able to use the magic that is necessary, that is the key. Not because you want to change the world, because you want to cause an effect, because it is needed. This need, which is why to assess, do I have this need to use it right now? If you do and you assess that, second guess it, hold back. When it's a natural flowing out of you, that's when to basically unleash it and let it go. And it will just flow from you, and the experience will be magical at this point. You have been gathering, you have been purifying, you have been flourishing, and now there's this stagnation in the heart where people have gathered and some people haven't come to the heart yet because there is a block stopping it. Please don't get frustrated. It is an opportunity to go within and reassess who you are. What are your triggers? How can I be okay with it? How can I allow it to flow? There are so many reasons why to not get into the heart space. And there are so many reasons to not get out of the heart space into the higher thought forms. Once you start being compassionate, once you start, just search for it in other people, see it in other people. Even the smallest amounts, when you see it and you reinforce it, then the white magic is going to start gathering unintentionally without you focusing on gathering the white magic. It is great to do the intentions of gathering it. But what you can do with the white magic when you simply allow it will be instrumental to this earth plane, to your reality, and to the others that you are helping or serving. Are there any questions at this point? Do you understand?
I understand, and I'm hoping everyone else does. Susan has a question, but I don't know if it's exactly on this subject. So are you open for questions beyond this subject?
Well, let's stick with this subject for now, before we start going into other topics.
Yes, I have a question on this topic. Yeah, I've taken the 3 classes, white magic classes, and I'm in the heart chakra at this time. And one thing I have noticed, yeah, the clearing of blockages in my chakra. I think it's increased health and vitality as I've, and a sense of purification, like you mentioned. So thank you for all this additional information that has definitely helped clarify things. So I'm wondering, will there be a white magic 4 class this year? And will there be additional flourishes available to white magic practitioners, if you will? And what percentage of white magic is available to humanity from Gaia at this time?
I see that there is enough information for Corkellen to teach another white magic class, and that the level of students who are taking it, that they are ready for more flourishes and ready for the next style of, we'll just call it emitting the white magic or using the white magic. Corkellen has his own names for these things from his experience. So, and since he's teaching the class, I show up occasionally. This percentage, it all depends on your reality. It does not matter what the percentage is on Gaia. What matters how you feel the white magic and how you use it. Those other things are just stats for geeks, and we like the numbers, but you're using it. Your use of it will come from you feeling it. And you, one way to say it is you stopping yourself from restricting it, and the other one is allowing it to flow freely. Your usage of white magic does not deplete your white magic. That, on the contrary, the more you use the white magic, the more that it comes to this earth plane, and the more that it will fill up the rest of your chakras. The more you meditate with white magic, the more you will seed your third eye and gather in your third eye. Allow yourself to meditate with the white magic.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's something I haven't done yet. I've sat and gathered the white magic, but focusing on meditating, connecting with what I've already gathered or what is already within me is a great recommendation. So thank you. Much love.
Much love. Are there other questions?
Not on this topic, unless you have some, Angie, in the chat.
I do.
Okay, please go ahead. And we'll come back to you, Maeve.
Okay, Matt Wally says, what is magic?
Magic. At its most basic level, magic is simply the creative energy on this earth plane that's beyond the human reasoning, is the easiest way to say it. When this earth first came into being, it was very magical, and many magical beings in the higher dimensions were able to do their creations easily. This original earth contained the magic. Now we're calling this white magic because this is only based in purity. And this is based in the original creative, not destructive, not malintent. You can't have malintent with the white magic. If you're gathering the white magic and you try to use it in a malicious way, it won't work. It simply won't work. But there is other earth magic that will work 100% based on your intention, no matter what it is. Does that answer your question?
This was from YouTube. So there is a delay in him answering.
Okay.
There is just one other question that says, what are ways to clear blockages in the heart chakra?
The biggest blocker in the heart chakra is grief and everything associated with loss. That is the toughest concept. With dealing with grief and loss, you can't focus on it. You have to feel it. You have to do other things like keep yourself occupied also, but you need to feel it. If you delay feeling it, you're just packaging it up and putting it in a box and putting it in the back of your mind, and you will deal with it later. And if you don't deal with it in this lifetime, you will deal with it in a future lifetime or an alternative lifetime. We'll just call it that way. If you focus on love, and not necessarily your idea of what love is, but if you focus on what this massive otherworldly idea of love is, that will help clear, because you are focusing on the compassion. You are focusing on loving. You are focusing on being kind, and you are focusing on being fair or making people smile or other things. When you do those things or you're focused on those things, you can ask the universe, show me kind acts. And then when you see them, you highlight them, and then you say thank you. That is one way to lean into the positivity side of the heart chakra. By leaning into the positivity side, there is no room. All these negative thoughts and negative energies in the heart have nowhere else to go because it's being filled up. It's like filling up your sink. Sooner or later, it is going to overflow. And if there's any debris in it, it will overflow as well. Sooner or later, that sink will be clear only by adding and adding and adding the positive to it. You didn't need to focus on removing the negative. There are many times when you're losing a loved one, that is a very difficult thing to do. If you can see beyond the veil, if you can see beyond the lifetimes, and you see the energy transition, and you see that your loved ones are happy where they are, that is one way. If you can see past it, then you just understand, I can talk to you anytime. We can still experience things. It's just not in the same way. another way to get past it. And this is one of the difficult things. If you believe in angels and your angels are around you, do they ever give up on you? No, they don't. They are always there, always supporting you. No matter what you have done, you have angels and they are cheering you on. They're shining the light at you, not to scold you, not to say you're doing things wrong. It's just the gentle reminder, I'm here and I'm hugging you and I'm sending you positive energy because I feel compassion for you. I know this grand experiment that you are dealing with. I thoroughly understand it. And my job is to love you no matter what. No matter how hard you judge yourself, your angels are not judging you. And God, this is going to ruffle a lot of feathers, God does not judge you. God does not judge you. That is the whole meaning of unconditional love. There are no gates, there are no pearly gates stopping people or anybody from getting into heaven. The only thing stopping you from getting into heaven is your vibration. If you can't vibrate high enough, that keeps you away. Your thought forms, your disbelief in your own vibration is what's keeping you away. And that's why your angels are always around you. It's the easiest way to see it. And if you can see the light in others, if you can see and point out when others are doing loving, kind things, when they're doing compassionate things, when you stop judging and see them, you don't have to understand why the person did it. You don't have to agree with why that person did it. I wouldn't have given that homeless person food or money or whatever. But if you see it and you say, oh, they are being compassionate, that's one nudge over to your positivity. You see more of it. Maybe count smiles in people. These are the things. We're not really talking about white magic at this point. We're talking about the easier ways to purify the heart, to raise the vibration of the heart, to open the heart. Many of you feel the warmth in your heart right now. If you stop judging or judge less, let's put it that way. Oh, I just judged. Can I do something? Can I see a kindness? Can I see loving action? So don't judge yourself too harshly when you catch yourself judging. Do you understand? It's a catch-22 because then you get down into the, oh, I wish I could stop being so judgmental. It's stopping me from doing the things I want to do. Well, be nice, smile. It's the easiest way to start. And then when you start seeing more and more and more of it, you will feel it in your heart. You will not have to ask anybody if your heart feels full. What is the percentage of goodness in my heart? Well, feel it. If you feel it full of light and full of love, that's all the confirmation you need. It would be really cool if we had watches. What's the amount of love in my heart? Or if we had this meter. But you do have this meter. It's called how you feel. You were built with it. You signed up for this. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Beautiful. Is it possible now that we go on to an, because you did veer off of the magic and into the chakras, is it possible I can take the Mavis question now?
Yes,
But I'll have
yes.
to read it. So he's going to have to, there. Oh, he's fast. He just posted it really quickly. He said, let's suppose someone is not a volunteer here. They are a low frequency human. Does that mean they are a fractal of the monkey gods along the lines of Hanuman? So,
I understand the question.
what I'd like to understand the motivation of the question. So you mean, so does he mean that like someone is not a volunteer here?
Well, that's the first thing. That's the first assumption. That
Yeah.
no one, that the assumption is that there are people who are not volunteers here.
Right, right.
Okay. And
Yes.
the second is the low vibration. And dealing with those low vibrational people, and then some a fractal of the monkey gods. Hanuman's my friend. So
well, Hanuman, I mean, Hanuman is the ultimate servant. He is only, you know, Hanuman is the ultimate servant. He's completely submitted. And the other, and the monkey gods, they are fractal. I don't understand the question.
well, there's a difference between the monkey mind that we all have. So let's take it one step at a time.
Okay, I'll leave it to you, dear.
So this first idea that there are people, there are beings here on this planet that are not here of free will. There's so many ways to answer that. At the most basic level, they have free will. And they signed up for this. At some level, they agreed to it. Whether it's a soul contract or they chose when they were in their soul group, when they were in their version of heaven, when they chose to incarnate. There are some who chose to incarnate in a negative line and who chose to incarnate into involuntary servitude, if you understand that. That is one of the toughest topics to understand. If you do not judge, they are here only to, the simplest way to look at it is they're offering vibrations of how not to be. And you can choose the opposite of that. Oh, okay. If I do that, I will have those feelings and I don't like that. So I'm going to choose something different. And you chose to incarnate in a more positive fashion. But Earth, you can't come to Earth. If you get here to Earth, you have free will. Even if you were in servitude, once you are here, no matter what you think, you can free yourself by definition of this earth plane and the agreements all around this earth plane and the collective consciousness. No matter how negative you are, you can, there is light in you. You are here. There is light in you, and you can find and expand that light. It is the whole concept of white magic. By you finding the light, by you seeing the light, you are attracting more of this white magic, more of the light. Did that answer the first volunteer question?
Mavis, you need to respond in the chat. Yes, it did.
Okay, and the low frequency humans, my challenge for you, when you are noticing low vibrational humans. I would encourage you to, one, not notice them as low vibrational humans. I challenge you to view them as humans with whom you do not resonate. It's as simple as that. Because if you call them low vibrational humans, you are judging their experience as having less value than your experience. They have incarnated in many lifetimes just like you, and they have chosen this particular incarnation to balance themselves out or to fulfill themselves or to contribute back to all of creation. That is one of the toughest concepts to understand as a human. They're doing their own thing. And there are some things that humans can handle. Oh, they're playing cards over there. I don't like playing cards, but you're not judging them. They're laughing, they're having fun, but you don't like to play cards. Okay, you can apply that same concept to murderers, robbers. I'm not trying to promote those things, but people come here to planet Earth for all of this. How you react to it is the key. Do you allow yourself to lower your vibration when you're dealing with or noticing those types? Or does your vibration rise because you're called to action? No matter what the action is, whether you're speaking out or you're calling the police or you are helping the victims, no matter what it is, how are you dealing with it is the whole thing. Sooner or later, if you notice that they're doing their own thing and I don't resonate with them, you won't notice them after a while because you will raise your vibration enough that you can't see them. That is the easiest way to explain it because what you see is based on your vibration. This works as a human being. This works as a energy worker. This works as a light being. This works as a white magician. Sooner or later, you will only see the white magic. Sooner or later, you will only see the good in people, just like the angels. They see only the good in you. They see only the light in you, and they want to remind you of your light. And those low vibrational people that you have so called, they have angels as well, trying to remind them that they are the light. Maybe you're their angel. How about that? Did you think of that? Did I answer all your questions? Is there a different way I can explain it?
I think you did. Let me just give him a chance to respond. Yes, thank you, was the response.
So that's the power of the mind, to see the situation differently. That's the power of the mind to change what you're thinking and what you're doing. This is the power behind the white magic. By you having a non-attached thought forms, that you can then see the white magic amongst all the things that are out there. And you can then form it. By using the flourishes, you're using a visual component, you're using a verbal component, you are using hand gestures. So you're actually feeling the energy. For those of you who have done flourishes, have you felt the energy go through your hands while you're doing the flourishes? Have you felt the energy come through your voice? Have you felt the energy come through your eyes? Those are the things that I would like to encourage, is feel this energy, whether it's white magic or whether it's your personal experience. This is a feeling universe here around planet Earth. This whole thing is a feeling universe, even at the highest levels of consciousness. It's all about feeling.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Lilypad has a question. Lilypad. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hello, Merlin.
Greetings.
Hello.
Much love.
Much love to you. Thank you. What's the relationship between the chakras and the Kundalini?
Well, the Kundalini is a flow of energy coming up through the chakras. One way to explain it is that you are, it has been explained many times this way, the growing lotus of who you are coming up through the muck and the mire of the pond and reaching up and sprouting, the sprouting lotus at your crown chakra, receiving all of the light. There are many people who have talked many different ways about the Kundalini energy and what you can do, but this is you reaching for the light and enlightenment. And once your lotus is blossomed, you are then receiving it. These leaves and flower petals are receiving the light, the photons of the light, and that are bringing it down to all aspects of the plant for nourishment. Besides the water, it needs the light, just like you need the light.
Okay, thank you. And so that's why white magic comes from the ether?
It comes from the lowest substrates of the ether, of creation, let's put it that way.
So, okay, thank you.
It comes from the lowest energy fields that your scientists today have, you know, some of them have called one of those fields the electromagnetic field. These fields are all potential energy, and this is where this white magic is coming from, but it's the purest aspects of those.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there other questions?
No, there isn't. No, there's not any other questions. Angie, do you have any other questions on your side?
Let's take a quick look. How do you see free will if you have responsibility?
Yes, excellent, excellent question. There's free will as a human concept, and there's free will as an energetic concept. As an energetic concept, you can change your mind and the universe will respond accordingly. As a human, humans are programmed by society, by parents, by friends, by strangers, by conversation, by experience. And these belief systems of duty and responsibility are incorporated into you, whether you resonate with them or don't resonate with them. But the sense of duty and responsibility is important. It's an important part of you. And it goes back to the why. Why are you doing it? Like raising children is the easiest way to think of it. There are many parents who walk away, and there are single parents raising children because one parent does not want to, as humans say, take responsibility. Because society has said that they must take responsibility And that is a part of the agreement of your society, whether this is acceptable or not acceptable. But these ideas of responsibility, just like your ideas of what brings out your joy, these are all things that you decide what has value. Am I going to do it? Am I going to continue my responsibility? That is your free will. You feeling like you have to is different aspects of yourself saying that you enjoy it in some way, shape, or form. If you, at the beginning, I suggested go inside and find out your why. Why do you see this as a responsibility instead of an enjoyment? Many parents do not like raising their children. It is a burden for them, but as a mindset for them. It is not, they don't have to see it that way. They can choose to raise them differently, to change their mindset, and then they will see that the influence they have on their children will change and the children's behavior will change. And whether it's you going and performing at a job that you don't like because you have to raise money and you have to bring home money so that everyone can survive, while you are a part of the idea of the system. This, and you can continue to do so. Or you can start asking the universe, what are ways for me to not see this situation as duty, a responsibility, a burden? Do you see your responsibilities as a burden? And then maybe you can look at it and say, what are the goals of this responsibility? What are the higher thoughts of these responsibilities? What can I do for it, to it, because of it? And then if we write down what are the pros and the cons, and why am I doing it? And then you can say, are there different ways that I can get those same benefits with not having this feeling of burden? One way is there a better job out there for me? Is there a job that can I be an energy worker because I love energy work? Can I just switch careers? Can I go back to school and switch careers? I don't know what your burdens are, but you see them as burdens. You see them as responsibilities. What can you do to change your mindset, or what can you do to change your situation so that it is more fulfilling and more of a loving agreement? Or I'm emotionally invested. I love these people. I feel creative here instead of I feel shackled here. What can you do? I cannot answer that for you. I can only pose the questions so that you ask them for yourself. Does that answer or not answer your question?
Thank you. That was on YouTube, so we'll see if they respond. One of the other questions is, when sitting down and meditating, it can be difficult to notice every heartbeat. What is your wisdom for connecting with the heart? You may have already talked on this some, but
we are never done with this conversation. It is, because that sounded like it was a goal. There is no goal for meditation. If you have a goal, then you will not reap the benefits of it fully. If you start a meditation practice, no matter how long it is, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 15 minutes. It does not have to be 8 hours of meditation. You came here to live life, so 8 hours of meditation might be defeating the purpose of you incarnating. But the whole purpose of meditation is so that you can stop feeling all the influences outside, and you can feel the influence inside. And we trick our minds by listening to music, by listening to our breath, by focusing on our breath, by focusing on our heart center. By focusing on those things and playing the gentle music, we are setting the mood. That is it. We are setting the mood. And it's not that we are focusing to block out all of the external world. It just happens when one meditates. And be easy with you and your meditation practice. It is simple. When a thought comes in that's not of your breath, of not what you're focusing on, be okay. Say hello to the thought and return your focus and your awareness back to the breath, back to the vision, back to the visualization, back to your heartbeat, back to the feeling. It will go away on its own. But you just simply returning to your breath. How does it feel? And then listen to the heartbeat. And if you don't hear every heartbeat, it's okay. Listen to the next one and listen to the next one. The key is just to continue and don't judge. Let it go and focus. After a while, you will feel your own energy. That will be the positive reinforcement for you. Not that you're doing it longer, it's how you feel. The more you meditate, the more consistent you are with your meditation, the more you will feel your own personal energy, the more you will feel the light that's in you, the magic that is in you. Everybody has the thoughts. Everybody can either quit and say, oh, I can't meditate. Or you can say, okay, that was an interesting thought. Let me listen to my breath again. Let me listen to my heart. Once you get accustomed to that and you get good at it and you start to feel good, then you can start listening to your heart and all the information that's in your heart. You are connected to everything, to the earth, to the collective consciousness of earth, to the higher dimensions, to the flow of energy, to the existence and possibility of everything. Be okay with yourself when you don't see it. And if you're only focusing on the breath, that is enough. Your breath is magical. It is sustaining you. And the energy inside that is flowing because of your breath is sustaining you. Whether you see your Kundalini rising, whether you see each of your chakras, it does not matter. Because when you are focused on the breath and you are focused inwards, all of your chakras go away. You are not aware of them. And after a while, you will not be aware of anything. You will only be aware of the feeling that you have, this peace, this serenity, and that's when the true magic happens. Does that explain it?
It does on this end. The question before, the person said, beautiful, thank you. Another question is, how is magic linked with our consciousness?
Magic is a part of consciousness. And we classify things as magic because they're beyond our belief systems on how things happen. But when you see magic happen in front of you, you're going, wow, how did that happen? Wow, that was magic. In the higher realms, this creation is easier. In the realms of heaven, when you're up there, you have this unlimited paint, let's call it, that you get to paint your section of heaven any way that you want, and it turns out exactly the way you want it to. That is the ease of creation in the heavenly realms. Your consciousness, your belief systems, your imagination are the only limiting factors to the same thing happening here on this earth. You incarnated here with full knowing and full understanding. And every stroke of your mother's hand on her belly while you were in the womb was giving you a different vibration. Doesn't mean it wasn't loving, but it was a different vibration of I can create anything. And all the words that were said and all the heartbeats that were sent to you, some of them were loving, some of them contained stress. Each of them started to program you differently from what you knew originally. And all the words, if you grew up in a loving environment, you were thriving comparatively. The truth is you're always thriving because you actually chose it. You chose a difficult life if that's what you had. If you did not have loving parents, you chose it so that you can remember what the love is in your heart and what the magic and the creation, how can I create and how can I thrive? And every time you overcome something, you are helping every vibration that has ever existed because you overcame it in a different manner than anyone has ever done before. And if you haven't overcome it yet and you're still experiencing it, you are still sending this vibration out to the universe. All these ways haven't worked. Can I ask the universe, is there a new thought that I can have to change my vibration to get past this? I think I'm on a bit of a tangent, but I may have answered the question.
Yes, it did. You definitely did. One last question over here is, it's a two-part question. Talking about the eyes. My eyes are burning when I do healing, create space, and itches extremely. What does that mean? That's the first part. The second part is, what kind of exercises can we do for the eyes? That's the second part of the question.
Yes, there are many, many exercises you can do for the eyes. The first part is there could be many reasons as to why your eyes are burning. The first thing that comes to my mind is to consciously blink. Because sometimes if our eyes are open when we're doing energy work, there's a tendency to focus. And when we focus intensely, humans tend to not blink, which will dry out the eyes, which will cause burning and itching. It is a normal biological thing, okay? And it is okay if you have eye drops nearby, or if you blink is the easiest way to take care of it, okay? And maybe you can come up with a blinking pattern to change your symbols. You can associate blinks with the various symbols of your modality. And the more you do whatever verbal component, the name of the symbol, the drawing of the symbol, the whatever reinforcement you need to do, but you can also associate blinking or clicking or whatever it is, or tapping. You can do those things, and that will, when you do that, you're accessing a key that's inside of you. So by you associating the 7 blinks means this, by you setting your intention, that is going to help it come forth. You are not changing the energy, you are changing how you access it. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. I'm not sure if it answers the question, but it definitely makes sense.
And your eyes could be special. You could have incarnated here. Let me tap into your energy here for a moment. There are many of you that have these special eyes where it is part of the releasing through you, through your eyes, of this energy that no longer serves. And causing a burning sensation is part of that release process. But again, you have a natural biological response to that. Is if you blink more and tear more, it will lubricate your eyes and alleviate that. And once you stop feeling it, that means you no longer needed that reinforcement of the energy is being released. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Humans are so funny in the energetic ways that it affects the body. And that is one great example of how natural healers take care of certain things.
Is not the eyes part of healing can come from the eyes, energies can come from the eyes?
Absolutely. Because humans tend to rely on the eyes a great deal. And much of their reality is formed based on what they see, and then what they hear, and then what they feel. Sometimes scent. I mean, if you become blind, you then have to rely on the other four senses. And so therefore, they start to heighten. You hear more things that you have ever heard before because you were too reliant upon the eyes. So sending energy through the eyes is a very basic topic. It is you intending and then the eyes sending. It is the power of the mind and then allowing it to happen. By practicing it, you will then feel the energy flowing from your eyes, whether it's white magic or any other energy modality. It does not matter. You intended it, therefore it will happen.
Thank you. There is one other question just popped up. Is it
Go ahead.
possible? Go ahead.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Is it possible to cut cords with your twin flame? If not, how to forgive them for their cruelty, emotional cruelty?
The simple answer, yes. Let's go back to the why. Many times, which is why we have energy workers. We have healers on this planet, because the energy can help the release without the mind understanding the why. The body and the cells and the energetic pattern of who you are understands. Your mind does not need to understand the releasing of it. You feel the release and you feel better. Even if you are an energy healer yourself, it's the ego that comes into play. It is the thinking too much about it. But energy work is not about thinking too much about it. It's about allowing the vibration that's necessary to come through, for the cells and the energy patterns to come back to homeostasis, your original state of sustenance, of nourishment, of viability, of well-being is the simplest way to say it. By trying too hard, we are blocking it. By allowing somebody else's hands to be on us and to do the work that is necessary and getting out of the way, that is the best thing you can do for yourself. Now with cord cutting, yes, you can use many powerful energy modalities. You can use white magic for cord cutting. You can use Reiki. You can use many, many other modalities. Allow the practitioner, talk to your practitioner master who's ever working on you. Talk to them as to what's bothering you. Talk about your feelings. Talk about the history. You just talking about the history of it will help the releasing process. Part of the releasing and the forgiving is you becoming okay with it, is the easiest way to say it. If you keep getting triggered because the universe keeps sending you messages about this person, if they're not in your direct energy field or verbal communication or eyesight or anything, then it is you that is causing those synchronicities. You are asking the universe to show you for some reason, but be easy on yourself. And if you're dealing with this person because you work with them and you have to talk with them on a daily basis, breathe. You got to find some way that makes it work for you. Can you see the light in them without having to need them? This need or this overwhelming desire, or I have to, or I want it so badly. These are all negative aspects of your chakras or negative aspects of you. By you understanding, do I really need them? Because that's what's extending a cord. I need them. I keep thinking about them even though I don't want to think about them. Those are tough things to do. What brings out your joy? Do something that brings out your joy. Occupy your mind, one, but do so in a positive manner. Can you interact with them on a positive manner? If you're doing physical work near them or around them, can you highlight in your mind the good things that they do that doesn't also attach other feelings to them? Can you see them as a human being that's not a part of your energetic field? Because many of these ideas of twin flame or soulmate are simply an idea of lack that's in your inner being. That's not, well, it's not in your inner being, it's in your outer being. It is in our mind, it is in our energetic field. But your inner being knows the truth, that you are whole and that you are complete, and that you are the light and you are love, and you can be, back to the heart center, you can be compassionate, you can be loving, you can show kindness, you can have harmony within, and you can promote harmony without. You do not have to call them out on every little thing that you claim that they are doing wrong. You do not have to emphasize every time that they hurt your feelings or that your feelings get hurt that you want to blame them for. You do not need to. That is not going to help the situation. And these cords, they're only going to reinforce the cords that you have. And if you have been to a healer and they have done the cord cutting and you come back a week later or a month later and the cords are still there, you're recreating them. You have so much power. This is the tough nugget to swallow. It's you are the power. You are attracting everything to you. Your experience is only filled with what you are attracting. If you are experiencing this negative aspects of the cords, it's because you are attracting it in some way, shape, or form. The only way to really solve it is, why am I doing it? Once you solve that issue, because what we think becomes what we speak and becomes what we do. If we can think thoughts of joy, thoughts of compassion, thoughts of interacting with this beauty of this world, then the thoughts of I am dependent upon this other being, I am not co-creating, I am co-creating this idea of lack, I am of frustration, of there are so many negative feelings around those chords that are there. But when we focus during meditation, if you actually start focusing on your breath, the chords disappear. Your karma disappears. You decide once you're done with meditation to pick it all up again. We digress a little, but I hope you understand. Are there
I
more
believe
questions?
so. I think that that's Lily Lily Pad has another question, if that's okay.
Yes,
Lily
please,
Pad,
please ask.
Yes. Thank you. I was wondering what kind of energy is at night, because at night I wake up. So is there and sometimes it's hard to get back to sleep. I wake up for no reason, and then I'm quite awake and I want to sleep.
Yes.
So then, because it happened many times, it's been so maybe and then I feel like maybe I should just, what you say, breathe, and then I go to breathing. But sometimes I'm lazy, I don't want to do that. Just sit down and breathe in my bed, and then I feel maybe I feel like I should do that without not knowing myself, and maybe to relax me. But I wasn't stressed before. So it seems like maybe I was thinking maybe something wake me up so I can do some breathing and then go back to sleep. Or there's an energy that's been changing around everywhere. Can you give me some guidance or
Yes. Yes.
something I don't know?
So yes, there are external energies that are around. There has been a huge wave of energy that has started to come through before the equinox, that has come through during the equinox, both positive and negative. So the energies are affecting all of humanity in different ways, and more so. The human physiology is so comprehensive in how the human feels. And not only thoughts, but what the human eats contributes to the sleep patterns. It all comes down to vibration and what is the internal vibration of it, but exercise habits, stress levels, what we eat, certain diseases, certain medications, all those things contribute. What you put into your body contributes to its dis-ease. When it comes down to the lowest levels, it is just about ease versus dis-ease, okay? You can help yourself by eating easily. No matter what you eat slowly, eat consciously, with gratitude. Are you eating with other people? Are you enjoying their company? Or are you getting through this intake of calories so that you can go on to doing something else? Are you not enjoying the meal? Are you not enjoying preparing the meal? Are you not, do you understand what I keep saying? It's, are you not? And when it comes to your bedtime, if you are, humans like to have routines. So can you create a positive routine? Can you fill your house or your apartment or your place of living with positive energy when you get up, anytime in the day that you choose to do so, and before you go to bed? Can you set your intention before going to bed to wake up well rested? Can you do something with what you're, do you drink too much water? So that physicality is causing you to wake up. Are you worried about something? Do you have to take notes before going to bed so that those ideas are now on paper and you can forget about them? Besides the breathing, which is one good way, but can you engage in breathing and something that is not really real, that that is fantasy? Because if you engage in those fantastical thoughts that that aren't really a part of your everyday life, that helps the mind to get into those longer wavelengths and allows the sleep pattern to just happen. Maybe you go gently play with the fairies. Maybe you have a special flower, one flower that's your friend for dream time. Some people count sheep, but that is one of those mundane tasks, because sooner or later, the sheep start doing flips over the fence, or they start dancing on the fence. Those are all part of this fantastical thing that allows your brain to get into the sleep pattern as opposed to the wake pattern. And be easy on yourself when you wake up so that you can say, oh, that was really interesting dream. Maybe I want to continue that. And then you get back into the sleep. Think of all those things.
Thank you. Yes, the breathing does help when I start breathing, and then I think about, I try to go inside me, and actually, and then when I go back to sleep, I think the energy start moving, and then I fall asleep, and then I don't remember when I fall asleep. So I think the breathing, it does help. I noticed that lately. I think because yeah, thank you.
Excellent. And there are many, many other techniques. If you pay attention to how many times you have woken up, or at what times, hide the clock. Move your clock to somewhere where you can't see it. Those are all tricks of, oh, I can go back to sleep. Don't notice whether it is light or dark outside, whether it's time to go to sleep. You set your alarm, and if it hasn't gone off, don't get up. Or go to the bathroom and then just come right back. Or get a glass of water and then come back.
Yes.
Simple little tricks that you can play to help yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Leela has a question. Go ahead, Leela.
Thank you. Merlin, my grandpa. I would like to know, my wonderful friend. We have so many lives together. Would you like to tell me anything? I wanted to tell you before you answer that I miss our times together and I really love you.
I love you too. The easiest way to call me in is exactly how you're doing right now. This feeling that you have is the way to bring me in. Okay? And I guarantee you that we will incarnate together again, and we will have magical, magical times together. Let's call it a dance. This dance that we do when we incarnate together. And there are many of you that have aspects of me and that incarnate with me. Feel the joy of our interactions together. And if you have an aspect of me, feel the joy of performing those dances, those interactions with other people. That is the best way to bring me in more fully into your experience. Allow it to happen and be this conduit of joy. Having the intention to, having the wonderment of incarnating together again is the best way to ensure that it's going to happen. And you can also see in meditation the various lives that we've had and the future lives that we will have. And we can experience that joy in this moment during this meditation. Because that's all this life is a meditation. That is it. And if you can imagine the magic that flows in your mind, then the magic will flow in your reality. Does that answer your question?
Are you going to visit me in New Gaia? I will have a school, and I was thinking to invite you to be like a master magician teacher,
Absolutely.
because that would be great. I was planning to do in the forest, build tree houses for the children, and you can just teach them the old tricks.
You can remember the old tricks also.
I know,
Okay.
but you are better in teaching it.
Well, that is simply a thought. That is simply a limitation when you say that someone is better. I enjoy it, and I enjoy interacting with you. And do you see the vision? I would like everyone to tap into the vision that she has presented. This forest and these tree houses, this basically it is a playground of love and play and awe and interacting with all the possibilities that can happen. That is how to do it right there. That is the magical environment of the mind, and that is then the magical environment of how it will come to be. I love situations like that. So when you create a situation like that, yes, I will be there because I want to play with that. And if you invite me, then I'll come in even stronger. Play, be in awe, get excited. Excitation is how it happens. Go ahead. I interrupted.
I am already excited. I already see you with the long beard. Are you going to present yourself in New Gaia? Can you please tell me how are you going to present yourself? Do you have already created the form, or it will happen when it happen?
I am already there.
Right.
And I already have a vibration which is constantly changing. And the reality is, each of you will see me differently because you have different filters. Because your experiences will see me differently. Some will see me as an old man with a long beard. Some will see me as a tree sprite. Some will see me as a young man. Some will see me as a woman. I have a vibration, and based on who you are, you will see me differently. Many of you, I will be, traditional robes and a long beard.
Do you think will I have access to my magical wand with the emerald stone in the center? You know what is in the council of treasures? What is storage? Would I have access to my old magical wand back?
You can.
Okay.
And in the New Gaia, there are different avenues to this treasure storehouse. So I encourage you to plant the seeds that I will have access to it, that I do have access to it. You can also plant the seeds that I will enhance it. I will create a new one, and I will create one that is exactly what I want and need to bring forth my excitement and my magical experience.
What is about to get just the key to the house?
What about the key?
Just to get the key. Get the key to the storage house and just open and get all the treasures out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See,
So,
you know.
I know. Merlin, You know who you are. I know who I am, right? Nobody knows, but we do know, right?
But we know.
Exactly. So we just need to keep imagine before you go into the whole hooba booba.
Ooba booba.
So how is King Arthur doing? Do you know?
Oh, he is well. He is still my friend, and he is in many dimensions. There are so many things
I know.
about Arthur,
Oh, I know.
Arthur, that one day he will truly reveal himself, and he will show. I think it is about time that he starts being channeled,
Right. Okay.
and
Next
that he
time, maybe.
starts showing up, because it is time. We need his leadership.
Agree. And the idea. Round table.
This is such a beautiful conversation, but I do want to get to
Yes.
Kat's question because we are
Thank
running
you,
out of time
Karen.
now.
Thank you,
Thank
Karen.
you. Thank you. Kat, are you still there?
Thank you for the
Yes, I am.
conversation,
Thank you very
Leela.
much.
Okay, and if anyone else had put in that they had a question after Kat, my internet dropped for a moment, so I lost my chat. So please retype it. But go ahead, Kat. Go ahead.
Thank you. Do you have? Can you give me some news from my dad, which died like 10 years ago? How is it? Is he changed? Does anything?
Well, he is experiencing time in a different manner than you understand time. And he is in a better place. These are all generic things. You will get more satisfying answers by going to a medium to get those types of answers. Because
Mhm.
the way I see your father is differently than you see him and as a medium would see him. A medium will see your father much like you see your father, and they have that ability to communicate from your consciousness to your father and give you those desired answers.
Yeah.
Because I'm more concerned about how you feel about your father and this energetic pattern that goes back and forth between you two, because you are still connected.
Yes, I have some of his character, and but I don't know. My parents, we didn't have. We didn't stick together since I was little. So I have so few memories of my childhood, and yeah, but I still appreciate them, and I see. I recapitulate the history of my childhood with them, and I see where I was disconnecting or didn't have relationships with them. But I was just curious to see how they're doing and how after that how they change, if they change, or how the life this afterlife is transforming. How is it going? What's the taste? I want to feel the taste of it, and what's happened with them since they were so like ignorant uh, about life and the spirit.
Let us say that they are enlightened again.
Yeah.
Once they transition, they understand, and they went back and they looked at their original intention of why they incarnated where they did and why they did and why they behaved the way they did. And they looked at it. And they didn't necessarily judge it, but they looked at, how did I gain value from it? What was this experience? And would I have done something different, is the human way of saying it. Not that they have regret about it. It's just that, where can I go from here? And your father
Mhm.
has, in this idea of single timeline, has incarnated again and is now off experiencing new things. And maybe you can see your father in someone that is around you.
Mhm.
He
Mhm.
may not remember, which is part of the frustration. When you remember and they do not, you need to let them be in their understanding, which is what
Yes, of course. Yes.
your father was saying when he was looking back at his life. Oh, wow. Look at the influences that this behavior caused. And he's proud of your
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing I like about I liked about my father. He was just a joking man, a happy man. He was appreciating beauty, nature. Um, he was kind of special, you know.
Excellent.
And I like the spirit, you know, and I consider it quite evolved, even though he didn't knew that. So if I see him right now, maybe as a boy or something, he must have kept his character. If I see him one day, that's what I think.
There will be aspects of his character that you see, and I'm sure when you notice him, there'll be extended eye contact or something that this child
Hmm.
will
Hmm.
notice you and stare, and you will notice the staring and you will go, oh.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I feel some joy in my heart.
Nice. Excellent. And you're chuckling. Yes, yes. Absolutely. Are there other
Can I
questions?
can I ask another thing? Do you have someone else on the line? Um, the host.
There are
No, she
other
doesn't.
beings here.
No, sorry,
I
there's
have.
one in,
I have.
let Kat go ahead and ask your question. This
I
might be
have
the
a.
last question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So in my contemplations, if I can say so, um, I can see that um, a human body can get sick from viruses and bacteria, and also from emotional constrictions, which are not uh, viruses and bacteria. It's just the energy gets um, pressurized in a part of a body. I don't know, heart, neck, whatever, and the energy flow, it's stagnant. Um, the blood doesn't flow through that part of the body, and you still get sick. Um, how accurate is this insight?
There are energy blockages, and there are many modalities to help relieve those blockages, whether it's acupressure, acupuncture, the flow of energy, this chi, this prana, this ki, is key to the well-being of a person's body, whether there are physical viruses or other forms of dis-ease. Where you apply the energy is based on the modality and based on the feeling of the practitioner. So helping the energy flow again can alleviate many, many, many things pretty quickly.
Yes. Um, my question is that if, because many people believe that they get sick because they have a virus or something, but it's not really 100% the case. Could be an energy constriction, which tightens the energy flow in that part of the body. So this is what I introspected through my, because I have probably a lot of those, and I was worrying about being sick because I have some virus or something, and my mind was keep rolling the idea that, well, I have to get rid of the virus, but um, then I realized it's not always the virus or something. It's just an energy construction that I have to process and release.
Yes, at the most basic level, a virus is simply an energy pattern of dis-ease, and you have attracted it at some point, and you can fix it energetically. I am by no means on this earth asking or advising people not to take medication for the viruses. You can do both. The best thing you can do for yourself, besides consult with a doctor, but there are alternative practitioners. There are energy workers and medical doctors that are both going to take into account the virus and your energy flow, your vibration. And the gentle tuning of your vibration will take care of the dis-ease. Your body wants to be in homeostasis, and that's an energy worker. The pins in acupuncture are stimulating the flow of qi in the body and the natural flow, the stasis of the flow of energy in the body, so that those cells experiencing this dis-ease can get the energy to get back to stasis, whether those cells are of a virus nature or whether they're cells in the body. That's all the medicines of the viruses and other diseases are doing, is that they have noticed and studied under a microscope what happens, and they thought, and they then ran trials. They did experimentation and observation to come up with their conclusions of this medicine works. This is all that humanity has done early on with the plant world, because medicines of today came from the plant world, from the medicines of before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think in my meditation, my personal work, I have a strong feeling that actually the energy of the viruses and bacteria can be transmuted to follow your spiritual flow. Well, if you have it. But if it becomes your spiritual flow, if it becomes quite stronger, I think those viruses and bacteria can be transmuted to be in alignment with yourself.
Well chosen words. Well chosen words. You have a great understanding of the flow of energy and the human body.
Well, that's where I am so far. I get my knowledge through I'm just meditation and results and experience, if you can call it like this.
Yes, and that is the scientific method. That is how you not only reinforce it, and it doesn't matter whether you're doing energy work or whether you're doing magical work, you are documenting your process, you're observing the results, and you are fine-tuning it to get better results. And hopefully you're sharing this information so that other people can repeat the experiments and confirm it, or say, hey, I got better results if I did it this way. Or maybe I did something wrong. Can you please clarify your process, because I'm missing something in between what you clarified as step 4 and step 5. I didn't quite get it. And that's all a part of the process of communication in documentation and agreement, because this 3D Earth world is all about agreement of the collective consciousness. And every new thing that you find can be populated into the collective consciousness to help change the reality of all.
Do I need especially to contribute to the world with physical words and writing, or just energy is enough?
Well, energy is always enough, but you understand the humans. The humans love their 5 senses. So the more that you can contribute with the 5 senses, the quicker you can achieve convergence on an idea.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of got it. Your last sentence here. It's, yeah, okay. I super much appreciate talking to you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for the conversation.
You're welcome.
Are there other questions?
No, but we are out of time. We are completely out of time. And I'm just 1 second, something's going off on my screen here. I just want to thank you. Whew,
I didn't steal any time.
No, you didn't. Thank you so much. So what would be very beautiful is if you would end with a blessing for us. And that would be the best way for us to go out. And just to remind everyone, this has been Will Mitchell channeling Merlin. And thank you so very much for being here.
So the blessing that I shall impart, I would ask you to close your eyes, and I shall use white magic in what is called a terada, is an advanced form of removing those cords, removing those blockages, those limitations that you have in your chakras, in your ability to see life in the fullest, to live life in the fullest. So I invite you to close your eyes and simply focus on the breath, and then just feel the energy as it comes. This is a more intentful energy than you have been taught. It will also come with my original language. Porta naridish urtkchi yashk niskutar tarditni urhashisha torahi naskatatir kariskati kasatukur shayaskurdi hask shkursh nakaskas karskis kis 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 kar uruhuka nahari. Breathe in the energy. Feel the energy. Feel the release. Feel the abundant nature. Feel the excitement. Feel the magic. Continue to breathe. It has been my pleasure. Much love to you all.
Thank you so much. welcome. Welcome back. Thank you for the beautiful, beautiful transmission. And yeah, we have to have you more often, Will. I always say it, and then it happens, but not often enough, in my opinion. But that's just my humble opinion. So thank you for being here. Always, always wonderful to have you.
I'm not all the way back yet. Hang on.
Oh, so sorry, so sorry. In the meantime, while you're coming back, we'll talk to you. We'll just check in with you in a second. But Angie, do you want to just give the announcements before we go?
Yes. Yep. Thank you very much. Yes, we are going to be scheduling the chakra class. It is going to be mid-June. The date hasn't been set. The price will be $150. It will be 1:30 to 5:30, just one day. I believe we can get everything in one day. And then excuse me, if you're interested, please email classes@hucolo.org. I will get you on the list. I can get the link out to go ahead and make the payment for that class. And the instructor on the class will be our very own Krishna Priya. And so we are ready for that.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because it'll be very nice to combine, you know, the Hindu understanding, the Buddhist understanding of the chakra systems, and as well as how they can be applied to the different modalities. So
Exactly.
Yeah, so that'll be really good. Next week we've got Jim that'll be here, and then in 2 weeks we have Max. So and then Jim.
Yes.
And then I think I'm almost getting ready to be home. So exciting. Yeah. So thank you, Will, again. And please tell people how they can get in touch with you.
So my YouTube channel is Reiki with Will. My website is aquariumfire.com, and you can email me at will@aquariumfire.com.
Perfect.
And I'm glad Jim's channeling next week. I look forward to it. And Max, did we just talk about Max the other day, Angie?
Yes.
Yes, and that he needs to be back. So good. Thank you, Max, for channeling. I miss you, my
Max is
friend.
hard too. Actually, I don't know if he's going to channel, but he wants to talk about what he's got going on, and that's always interesting as well. So it's always
Excellent.
nice when he comes in. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you again, Will. Thank you to everyone in the YouTube chat for all your beautiful questions, everyone in the room. And it was really beautiful webinar. So we'll see you next week. Much love to everyone.
Much love.
Much love. As I say, as I try to, my mouse for some reason disappeared.